station west of the Mississippi.
And they wondered if a black talk radio station would work in Southern California.
Y'all did it!
Well, KBLA Talk 1580 toasts its 3rd anniversary on Juneteenth, and you're invited to celebrate with us.
Hey, damn it, Smiley, y'all the bomb!
All you have to do is go to KBLA1580.com right now and sign up. Admission is free, but mandatory, and space is limited. Once we reach capacity, we'll have to cut off the online registration, but it's open right now.
Oh, my God.
So don't delay.
Thank you guys for being the best at what you do.
Log on to KBLATalk1580.com right now and register to join us for an afternoon of good music, good people, and good vibes.
Happy anniversary.
Wednesday, June 19th, 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We will provide the food and drink, but be sure to bring your low-back chairs, blankets, and your personal picnic baskets.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Let's celebrate 3 years of being the most trusted, credible, and reliable source of news and information.
We love you, KBLA.
We're KBLA Talk 1580, and we're black and stride again.
Happy anniversary.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
It doesn't really matter what the concept is or the belief is. The thinker's job is to create one of those.
And then the prover basically takes this and says, okay, your mind thinks this, whatever. I'm going to find the evidence to support what you believe.
Right. Yeah, the thinker's job is actually quite complex. The prover's job is very simple.
Kind of a dutiful servant. I think even Wilson says this in his book. It's following what your thinker tells it to do, in a sense.
Whatever I'm writing about, it basically comes from the point of view of the Copenhagen interpretation of quantum mechanics, which is whatever model we make of the world, whatever reality tunnel we organize our perceptions into is not the world. It's a model we've made.
Reality tunnels. What if your reality tunnel came from a dysfunctional, toxic environment? What if that reality tunnel, much like John Bowlby's attachment theory, what if it came from a toxic environment? You're going to see everything from that space. You're going to recoil from life. Whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove. How is your belief system BSing you? We came forward. Now we've come full circle. And Nzinga was on fire. Nzinga, I want you to come back in here and give us your final thought on this because you were cooking. Go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking that, in my healing journey, I always wanted to be healed. A lot of times I'm like, oh, Lord, this, come on, you need to fix it. I just want it to be over, and that's just not how things work. Because, I had to look at healing like scaling a mountain. And sometimes when you come back down, you might hit that same spot that you thought you were over, or the toughest spot to get, And I think when somebody wants you to come healed, they're not taking into account your humanity. And I don't even think they're taking into account theirs. So, when issues come up, how is it going to be handled if you're expecting someone to be healed? Because like I said, it just, comes around in a circular motion. You may have an emotional flashback, which happens a lot. Sometimes pain for me is photographic. I'll see it in my mind over and over again. And so I just say to come to a relationship healed. And when I see people write that or type that or just say that, it doesn't make sense because it's a perpetual thing. you're always going to be, to me, and I don't always want to be healing. Sometimes I want to be living. But that's in a perfect world.
But
I would say a song or sound.
I would say healing is living. Just imagine if you're stuck, you're not healing. See, healing is a process of getting better. So if you're healing, you are in fact living. If you're not healing, you're stagnant. If you're stagnant, I mean, come on, you're not even alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take that.
Girl, I love you. You know you came in here and you showed out today. You know that?
Love you too. Have a good night.
Thank you. But wait, guess what you did? She left. Oh, my God. She brought Pensacola, Florida in the building. She was on fire. And she said something that was really an answer to one of the earlier questions, which is, what is self-integration / self-alignment and its impact on aligning interpersonally? You can't ask for a healed person, like she said. You know why? Because healing is on a spectrum, right? A wound is like the sun. Let's go cosmology right now. The sun has something called a heliosphere. You know what a heliosphere is? Everything, all the planets in our solar system is within our sun's heliosphere. Did you know the sun's light and heat is on a spectrum? It's warmer here than it is on Pluto. There's more light here than it is on Pluto. But all of these things, all of these planets are within the sun's heliosphere. Did you know an unhealed wound operates in much the same way? Where there is an unhealed wound in your spirit, it has an heliosphere of influence. It influences how you see people. When they hurt you, they get categorized. That's the human part, right? That most people don't know how to be in a relationship with a human being. That's what Nzinga just said. So guess what? If you're not fully self-integrated or in self-alignment, what does that mean? Well, Carl Jung always said you got to integrate your shadow into the mask, which is your persona. That's what personality means. That's where the word personality comes from. It comes from persona. And you know what it means? It means actor. Most of you damn people out here acting and been acting. You get with a real person that says, hey, I messed up. The actor in you can't accept them because you're still within the heliosphere of an unhealed wound. Do you understand? I don't want to accept me, the dark me, the angry me, the disappointed me, the scared me, the judgmental me, the critical me, the disrespectful me. I don't want to accept that person. How many times have you sat down with somebody and you said, you know, they start talking a little bit about their dark side, but I'm not like that. See, and the reason why that came out is because this person did that, and that's what caused me. No, they caused you to be you. That was the first time that part of you was able to come to the surface. It's like having a multi-personality disorder, or they don't call it that anymore. It's dissociative. Right? Dissociative personality disorder. Right? Your shadow pop up, you be embarrassed. You don't even like you, but you want somebody healed. What? Listen to what I'm saying. You want somebody who is outside of the influence of their unhealed wounds, and you not done healing? let's come on now. Let's get some callers in there. I know I be wilding. Forgive me. I go on a tangent from time to time. Forgive me. Attila from Houston, Texas. Get in here.
Hey, yo. What's up, Uncle Zoe? How are you?
Hey. What up? We just lost a caller. Let him get back in here. What up, Attila?
Man.
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Let me tell you, you got people in the comments in the chat talking, okay? People are really like mind boggled by this particular subject, and I can see why.
Are they
right?
confused or mind boggled in the examples I'm using?
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily a confusion. Maybe it's just a disagreement, like we agree to disagree.
Call in with your disagreements. I'm ready.
Yeah, for sure. Because, I mean, honestly, when I first heard the topic, I was like, and I've been looking at this for a couple of days, watching a few of Robert's videos. And something that occurred to me in regards to our relationships and the way that we kind of set our partners up, I feel like, in a sense, how do I say this? It's like a means to an end. Like, we start picking at our partners when they show signs of, as you could say, unhealedness or maybe they prick wounds in us that we might have. And so I think the reason why that's an issue is because that's what the safety issue is about. Because we're so constantly in search of safety and we're in a place of fear, right? It's like we're putting up a wall so that we won't let our partners get close to us. But I would also say, too, it's kind of silly because in that case, you can't ever find certainty. Certainty doesn't really exist when you're dealing with a whip, right? So that makes sense why people end up going from, right, because you're going to constantly go from partner to partner to partner. And I also think the reason why this topic is somewhat hard for people to digest is because for some, I think there's a belief that their belief systems are what have helped them make it out of those traumatic events. And so asking them to essentially abandon those things is basically like asking a child to abandon their favorite blanket. That's their safety net in their minds, right? And so you get what I'm saying? So once you're like, when you're in a space of, I know what I'm doing and this works for me or whatever, and somebody actually comes to you and says, well, have you considered this? You have to automatically block it out if you feel like that is essential to your survival.
Cooking. I love it.
I think, yes. And one more thing I'd like to address as well is that I think in the process of us trying to make or demonize our partners and pick them apart, you're actually incriminating yourself. And I think if we put things into perspective that way, for everything that you could accuse your partner of or be upset at them about for not doing in the way that you'd like them to do it, you're actually pointing the fingers right back at yourself because you guys are you're mirroring each other, right? And so for every point that you raise that I could say I don't understand, you could do the same for me. And maybe that's kind of the crux of this whole topic is abandoning that chase for safety, certainty, and understanding and just listening.
I love it. Attila, guess what you just did.
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. We had Reggie. I'm waiting for Reggie to call back. Reggie, get back in here when we come forward. Miami, Florida, Dallas, Texas. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, Tavis Smiley here. We're getting closer to June 18th, and time is running out for you to register to join us for our historic symposium live on C-SPAN, Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. at the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Admission is free, but you must register at KBLA1580.com right now if you want to be in the audience when the nation will see for the first time ever a stage full of brilliant black folk talking about the urgency of now. Climate justice, climate equity, climate resilience. It's all going down. Well, it's actually all going up. Tuesday, June 18th, 4 to 7 p.m. live from the California Science Center in Exposition Park. Again, admission is free, but we're filling up fast. So if I were you, I would log on right now to KBLA1580.com to reserve your seat. Caring about the climate, caring about the community. We're KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Kind of like choosing Derek Jeter as the pinch hitter for your baseball team.
Jeter, you're in. We need a home run.
I'll give it a try. I've swung a bat once or twice.
That's out of here.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA reminds you that when we fight, we win, and we don't black down. LA Community Action Network, or LA CAN, was formed in 1999 when 25 residents of downtown LA came together and acknowledged the problems that existed in their community and made a commitment to do something about those problems, to stand together, organize, and become a force in the community that demands change. Civil rights and preventing the criminalization of poverty are their core projects. In addition, they take on women's rights, the human right to housing, and healthy food access. LA CAN also has projects focused on economic development, civic participation, voter engagement, and community media. While downtown LA remains their home base, with a particular emphasis on the Skid Row community, in 2007, they expanded their housing and healthy food access work into South Central Los Angeles. LA CAN believes that power for low-income people and people of color is achieved through a large, active, and well-informed member base that utilizes a multitude of methods to advance their messages and goals. If you'd like to join the Los Angeles Community Action Network and organize people to fight back against oppression, please visit cangress.org. That's cangress.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I would like to see what it is that you're talking about, that you see where the glitch is, that the power that's vested against people really opening up and having a joyous, wonderful celebration of all the changes and options around them from occurring. So how can we beat them? I mean, I know it's not an overt thing or it's a attacking sort of thing. How are we going to get through the eye of the needle? That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I know you were. It got pushed aside.
Well, when you define the power elite as somebody else, I regard that as a loser script. I define the power elite as myself and my friends, and that's a winner script. And the way to accomplish things is with a winner script. Like a friend of mine in Silicon Gulch was telling me about a guy starting a new computer business there, and he said he's very optimistic. And I said, of course he is. Pessimists don't start businesses. Pessimists don't do a damn thing. Pessimists sit around telling each other how hopeless everything is. It's the optimists who get things done. And so I define myself as a winner. I define my programs as winnable. And I count on the stupidity of whoever seems to be in power to undo them eventually. Because, as I said, every conspiracy has a natural lifespan. Every conspiracy collapsed by double crosses from within or by superior cleverness by rival conspiracies. And stupidity has a definite evolutionary function. I am all for abolishing stupidity, but before it goes, while there's still a lot of it around, we should pay tribute to it. It has been the strongest force in human history to date. It has shaped more historical events, battles, wars, politics, more than any other single factor. And it's an evolutionary driver. For instance, the stupidest thing that I can remember in recent scientific history was the banning of LSD research in the 1960s. And that was the most promising agent of behavior change discovered in the whole history of psychology. And the government made it illegal for psychologists to pursue that line of research. We suddenly were back in the days of the Holy Inquisition. And when you ask yourself, what is the function of that kind of stupidity in evolution? Well, what stupidity does is it forces the intelligent to get more intelligent. John Lilly, when they wouldn't let him do acid research anymore, invented the isolation tank.
Robert Anton Wilson. That was a younger version of Rob before he got ill. But do you see? That's his whatever the thinker thinks, the prover will prove philosophy. I believe unhealed wounds give us loser scripts. They write loser scripts. They write fear scripts. Then we wind up BSing ourselves, BSing our opportunities. I've done it myself. I've had BS scripts. Come on, listen. There's no space for grace in a relationship if you are guilty of self-gaslighting. That's why we did this topic tonight. Maybe logic. Maybe there's a universal divine purpose for why that relationship didn't work. Why would you denigrate and disparage yourself because it ain't happening no more? Do you see? Do you see? There's a divine I'm integrating physics into this, man. You hear me talk about the fine-tuned universe. Well, if the universe is fine-tuned, it stands to reason that everything about you is fine-tuned. You can look at your parasympathetic nervous system. You can look at your nervous system. You can look at the way your brain is set up. You can look at everything about you and see that something designed it. Didn't just evolve out of nowhere. They say, oh, well, what about the theory of evolution? Right? Well, racists wrote the theory of evolution. You know? Let's not even get into the history of that book and its author. And family members he was related to that took that work and did racist things with it. I ain't even going to mention his name. But do you understand what I'm saying? Your wound makes you a loser. Your unhealed wound makes you a loser. Let's just get right to it. We got callers on the line. I need to get them in here. They want to talk, and I want to talk to them. Very deep stuff, y'all, tonight. We cooking. Who's been on the longest? Reverend L. Get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
First of all, I appreciate you having me on. I've been listening to your content for a minute.
Thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Okay, so I've been listening, so I just want to just touch on something. I'm not trying to ruffle no feathers or nothing.
Just long as you don't curse, we good. Long as you don't curse, we good. Go ahead, brother.
Right on. So I think society has changed our DNA.
How?
So men used to be the logical ones. Women would be the more emotional ones. Now, society kind of puts it to where those lines are real close to each other. You have more men behaving out of emotional feelings more. They make very emotional decisions. And the women have turned to a more logical way of living. Like, hey, if I can do A, B, C, or D for money or for stability, they do it because they're looking at what's logically that's going to be better for them. So when you have maybe logic, it's like those lines are very close to each other now. And I'm talking about new society. Us old heads, we know the difference. So that's why we can kind of look at mistakes and learn from them. And I can watch somebody else's mistake and, okay, that's probably not the best thing for me. But that's what I see, especially for the younger generations that are coming up now. They don't learn fast enough. It's like they don't take wisdom. They don't even understand how to get wisdom. So that's one thing that's a big issue I see that's happening for young people.
Reverend, hold on, Rev. Yes, Reverend, you going to stay with me because we got a lot to unpack with what you said. Like, you said a lot in that little spurt. Hold on. Men, started off more logical than women. Women
yes, sir.
Started off more emotional than men. And now there's been like a flip, kind of like the poles. Every few thousand years, the North Pole will flip. The electromagnetic field around the Earth, the North Pole will flip to the South Pole. Are you saying that's what happened to men and women? There's been like a polar shift here?
It's been a polar shift.
Stay right there. When we come forward, I'm going back to Dallas. This going to be good.
You can't stop the rain when it starts to fall. When it starts to fall, there's no one else to blame. No one else to blame. You can let that go. You don't know the hate. You don't hate. You don't know. You don't know the hate. You don't hate.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Tyreek Wynn. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Maryland Governor Wes Moore joins President Biden and Vice President Harris in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania today for a rare joint campaign appearance by President Biden and Harris. The campaign is trying to bolster the black vote before voters head to the polls in November. Moore is the third black person elected as governor in U.S. history. Chicago, Illinois is coming off a violent Memorial Day weekend, included more than 40 people shot and 9 killed. Mayor Brandon Johnson, who's black, reacted to the crime wave by saying that the city continues to provide support services to families that are dealing with this trauma. Mayor Eric Adams' administration is making a $10 million investment to help small businesses in New York City. The NYC Future Fund will provide loans to support businesses in their early stages. Officials say the target will be indigenous and people of color and women entrepreneurs who often cannot obtain traditional bank financing. That's the latest. I'm Tyreek Wynn on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary hair? Visit your local SoCal FS Cut and Color Salon today and let their team of expert stylists pamper you with affordable luxury. Get a free shampoo with every cut. Book your appointment today at fantasticsams.com.
Follow the leader. KBLA Talk 1580. Follow the leader. Be sure Follow us on Instagram at KBLA 1580.
Follow the leader. Are you ready?
The station leading the way with exclusive interviews,
Follow the leader.
stimulating conversation, and intellectual discourse that empowers, enlightens, and informs.
Follow the leader.
Follow the leader at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Keep following the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Hey LA, be an eco-friendly hero. Join LADWP's Power Savers program and use your smart thermostat to help ease strain on the electric grid during peak electric demand. You'll save electricity while you lower your bill. Plus, as a power saver, you can get up to $185 in prepaid gift cards. Don't have a smart thermostat? No problem. Shop and sign up at ladwp.com/Power Savers program. That's ladwp.com/Power Savers program. To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
If we're the ones disproportionately impacted by these climate catastrophes,
Why should we be silent?
turning up the volume all year long on the climate conversation with KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chucha's opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chucha's Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're gonna feel a puff of air.
Zhang's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, centers and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Put your loving arms around me, boy, and hold me like I was a cuddly toy. Let me feel that warmth of your embrace. Don't let go. It's just a waste of time, so I pretend when I think you know we're more than friends. Must we let our future roll on ice? Why shake dice? Why don't you stay? Why don't you stay?
So now we are inquiring into the question of security. And why do human beings right throughout the world hold on to experience? Please ask yourself. Not only sexual, physical experiences, but also so-called spiritual experiences, which are much more dangerous. You walk along by yourself or with others, you suddenly have some kind of ecstasy, some kind of delight. And that experience, you store it, hold on to it. The thing is over, right? There's the memory of it, and one holds on to that memory, which is called experience. The actual word experience means to go through, isn't it? To go through and finish with it, not carry on in your memory that which has happened. Now, especially in so-called psychological experiences or religious experiences, which are very, very subtle in their happenings, the human mind takes delight in something which is not ordinary. Ordinary being that which is happening every day. And that which has happened suddenly, or which has happened after unconsciously working at it, and then happening. I hope you are following all this. And holding on to it. Why? Does that give one a certain sense of...
I don't think y'all understand the magnitude of the great Krishnamurti. He's saying good and bad things psychologically, we tend to hold on to them. With the good things, we trying to repeat it. With the bad thing, we trying to run from it, even though we're going to repeat it. Why? Because the good and bad thing are located in the same experience. When you're in pursuit of pleasure, you're inevitably in pursuit of pain. We've talked about this before. What's so heavy about today's topic? Maybe logic. I'm going to read the definition again. Everybody abstracts a different reality. When you come into a room, you abstract the reality you're prepared to abstract. That's simply saying your reality tunnel is unique to your experience, unique to your perception, and you're going to see the world as the world molded you from the beginning. No different than attachment theory. Your primary caregiver gives you your attachment style. You see the world through what you modeled. That's your reality tunnel. And what maybe logic is suggesting, and this is why I'm making this the topic today, maybe you should not be so deterministic based on the rules and the experience of your reality tunnel. The person you attract into your life, although similar in some ways, does not share your reality tunnel. So throw the Bible in it. Oh, they got to be equally yoked. We got to share the same values. Values are ideas. Human beings are dynamic works in progress. And if your idea is more stable than you are, then what good are you? Do you see? This is why I say don't date an idea. But you need to date an idea when you have an unrequited wound that's making the decisions. Do you believe as I believe? Can you conform to this belief? Can you lock into this value? And if a person sidesteps the value or lets the value down, then you get to look at them differently. Don't forget, people date the behavior and the image of the person, not the person. Why? Because most people have never fully integrated their own shadow. Let me get Reverend L. Ratchet back in here. Reverend!
Yes, sir.
Please finish your final thought, my good friend. You was cooking, man. Go ahead.
That last thing that you just said, that kind of hits home. When we were talking about the logic and the men logic and the women's emotion, they flipped. It's the impatience. People don't want to take time to get to know themselves. They don't want to learn themselves. I'd rather force myself on you and make you understand or want you to understand who I am. And just calm down, slow down, and your insecurities, those things, the logic, the hurt that you haven't healed yet, it'll come around.
Wait. Let me stop you.
Let
me stop because you just said something quite profound. And I'm going to push back a little bit, but it isn't disagreeing. But would you agree that most people are not dating you? They're not dating you.
They're dating the idea of you. You're right.
On, man. Come
they're
on.
dating the idea of you. They say, oh yeah, well he has this, she has that, until they get it. And when they get it, then it's like, I can work around this or whatever. Well, however that goes. But to get to all of that, if people want to actually have a harmonious relationship first with themselves. They got to be honest with themselves.
100%.
You know that you're a messed up individual. You know you're a messed up individual. So guess what a messed up individual is going to do? They're going to find and seek out somebody else that's a messed up individual. And you might not be as messed up as me just off the surface, but I'm going to gravitate to that.
Let me ask you a quick question. Let me ask you a
Yes,
quick
sir.
question. If a messed up individual did something to you that hurt you, and you decide to, reply or respond in kind, and maybe not doing exactly what they did. So say a messed up individual cheated on you. And I'm not saying you cheat back, but say you start doing other things like not answering their calls, not responding to their text messages, stonewalling, gaslighting, all these other things. Are they a bad person for doing those things as well?
I wouldn't say that you know what? They are a bad person, but they can't help themselves.
Yes.
They can't help themselves.
Yeah, right.
They can't help themselves.
Come on.
They can't help themselves. But then you got to look at what part that you played in that too, because how are you going to date this type of woman knowing that she has these characteristics and expect something different? And that's what we do. We see a woman, she look nice, this, that, and the other, until you get to really meet who she is, and you're like, this ain't gonna work. And women do it too, vice versa.
And vice versa. Hey, man, I appreciate the call. Thank you for bringing Dallas, Texas in the building. You are on fire tonight. When I come forward, Florida, Miami, Florida, Dallas, Texas, we're gonna get it in.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
We asked seniors how to prevent Medicare scams.
My best advice, if you get a phone call, do not talk to the person. These people are well-trained. Don't talk to them.
They don't know me. They're just trying to scam me.
Don't be fooled. Hang up. Just hang up.
Never give out your Medicare number.
They're going to get your number to put in a false claim.
If I get a call from someone, I don't pick up the phone. And should I pick up the phone and they ask for information, then I hang up.
How do you detect Medicare fraud?
Just like I check my credit card statements, I check my Medicare statements monthly.
Scammers can get a hold of your number, order medical devices through your account, and you're not even going to know about it if you don't look at your statement.
Check your statement every month. If you get your statement and you see something that you know you did not have done, you report it.
Call your senior Medicare Patrol.
To report Medicare fraud, call the Senior Medicare Patrol at 855-613-7080.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now during our Memorial Day sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed plus free home delivery when you add any base. Ends Memorial Day. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. More. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying my Loose Ends playlist. Loose Ends was on fire. You know, they predate Soul to Soul. Woo! Our UK family across the pond said we could do R&B too. They were on fire, man. My playlist is my co-host, KBLA Talk 1580. The Voice of Reason is on fire tonight. We've been having a very layered and nuanced and rich conversation. We still got callers to get to. I want to get them right now. Who's been on the longest? Hustle from Miami, Florida. Hustle, get in here. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, my friend? Yes, sir. What are your thoughts tonight?
Man, so, you know, I like to live in the gray area, man. I basically swim in the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
So I was watching this discussion between a wife and a husband where they were basically saying how they had to learn each other's apology languages. You know, we speak a lot about love languages, but what about apology languages, you see? Because for him, his main thing was, I need to see the remorse in your face when you say sorry. That's what did it for him. But for her, she's more like me, whereas the sorry don't really mean nothing but words. Let me see what you do after that. Let me see how you fix it.
Behavioral based. Yeah.
Come on. So, but the problem is they speak in different languages. So even though they could get over the infractions, they had trouble communicating between the two. You see what I mean? And I just thought that was an important thing, man, because you know you got to be multilingual in this relationship game. You know?
That you got to be reality lingual. My reality tunnel is different than your reality tunnel. So maybe logic, as proposed to us by Robert Anton Wilson, is basically saying what? We got to make space and have grace for the differences in our reality tunnel, in our view of things, in our perspective of things. That's how you know somebody loves you. They can make space for your humanity, and they can make space for your reality tunnel. You're going to see it differently. And you said apology languages. Hustle, guess
That's
what you just did, brother?
Well, hold on. I got something for you specifically, though.
Go ahead.
You just brought it up, man. It's about space, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know they typically the ones that want to take it, brother, but sometimes we need the space. You hear me, brother?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear. Thank you, fam. We appreciate it. Miami, Florida in the building. True Monger, Dallas, Texas. Talk to me. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic, bruh?
Man.
Man, that's how I know I did a good job. I get man out of True Monger. We good.
Yeah. The thing with belief systems is, once people have them, most people close their minds to anything else that will challenge them as far as thinking. They get stuck on these belief systems. They get stuck in these ways or whatever, and anything that challenges it, they either run from it or they just try to dismiss it altogether because it doesn't go along with what they were indoctrinated with. People got to be more open-minded, especially the learning, because just because you're in a particular religion that has a set script of rules or whatever, doesn't always make it right. And all that stuff is dated. People got to grow and be able to learn as in the now. You can learn a lot from that stuff, but if you really can't apply it to what you're doing, then you might want to challenge your own thinking, challenge your own belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid of learning. But a lot of people get into these systems and they try to force it on whoever they're with instead of learning from one another. People do the same thing in relationships. They try to say their way is the only way. This is my role and you're going to follow it. Like, man, people just don't think the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
In the way this whole society is set up. Most people can't afford to think that way. You got to be able to adjust and adapt. The main thing is you got to be open-minded because learning should never stop, no matter what you pledge yourself to or what you bind yourself to. You should always be open to learn. And once people get that, things won't be as difficult as they make them out to be.
I love it, brother. I love it. Guess what you just did, man?
This is about Dallas in the building.
Dallas, Texas is in the building. Listen, I promise you, I'm not trying to be right. I'm telling you, maybe logic, as defined by Robert Anton Wilson. It's basically saying your reality tunnel, right? It limits you in a way. Yes, it's your norm, as of course our guide Joseph Campbell talks about. Your normal, your origin point. Yes, as John Bowlby talks about attachment style. Yes, your normal, in order for it to be stretched, you're going to have to allow visas and passports for other reality tunnels to integrate into your own. You're not going to be able to do that if you have an unrequited wound, right, that's making all of these demands on the external world to come in and maintain the status quo. We have to stop being so deterministic and assumptive about our partners, especially if we want to master being in a relationship with human beings. This is why Big Mama and them always said there are going to be problems. This is why the number one tool that you need, and there are many tools in this box I'm about to mention. Most clinicians will tell you, in order to have a good relationship, you need a toolbox full of conflict management tools. Those conflict management tools allow you to say, well, maybe it's me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my perspective is off, right? This is why maybe logic is so big. It is, I'm not going to tell you what you are. How many times have we told our partner who they are? You're not a good person, right? You're a liar. Do we ever factor in maybe they lied to protect themselves like a child would do? Oh, well, if you're not a child, I have no more empathy for you. So empathy stops. Empathy is age-based. Do you get what I'm saying? When we start going down the rabbit hole, you start to see why maybe logic might be something useful. Well, I'm not right about everything. You know, I'm not right about most things. Hopefully, I engaged you tonight, and that's what this show is about. We want you to think. We want you to think differently. We appreciate everybody for tapping in. Stay tuned to Tavis Smiley. He'll be up right at 9 at the top of the hour. I hope you guys enjoyed. I got one more show before the week is over. I'll holla.